What it do, baby? What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy Capo167 bringing you another Outriders build video. And in this build video, I bring to you the Ash Blast build. Now let's get to it. Now, for this build, you're going to have a lot of options as far as mods, trees, and what pieces you want to utilize. So first, I'm going to show you the most common one that is being utilized that has some survivability and is utilized also for solo runs. Then I'm going to show you what I utilize as far as duo and solo, and also going to give you what options you have to utilize as far as mods and in pieces. So let's get to it. So as you can see here, I'm using 3-piece Akari and 2 purple sets. We have the skills in the bottom left and the tree in the bottom right. So let's break this down real quick. This is by far probably one of the common Ash Blast builds that are out there to utilize. So, and the helmet, you could use Tidal Wave, Fire Tsunami, Chest, Detonator, Untamed Power, Pants, Anomaly Echo, Emergency Stance, gloves, Pants on Fire, Captain Hunter, and on the boots, Master Consumer, Burnt Out. Now, some of the mods in this build that are interchangeable are 1. Emergency Stance. If you feel like you don't need the survivability and you can replace that mod with a offensive mod, giving yourself more damage, or you can give yourself an extra skill, meaning you can give yourself a 3rd heat wave. The second one you can remove is possibly Captain Hunter. That's also another one that you can remove, and you can give yourself another offensive mod as far as maybe like Death Sentence or something that will give you more damage for utilizing Burn or Ash, either which one. We're going to go and look at those mods a little bit later on when we get to it, but those are the 2 that you can kind of remove from within this build, so that way you can give yourself some more damage. Now, as far as the skills, you guys know we're going to be utilizing Heat Wave, Overheat, and Ash Blast. As far as the tree, we're going to go and we're going to discuss that a little bit later. Also, what we could definitely take a look at, and let's not forget that in this build, we have cooldown reduction across the board. This is a good solo build. Look how effective that is when the heat wave is at 5.9 seconds, 4 seconds for overheat, and 12.3 seconds for Ash Blast. Remember that, because when I show you what I utilize, you're going to see these cooldowns are going to be a little bit different. Now here, let's take a look at the weapons. Your primary weapon is going to be the Death Shield. The Death Shield comes with Fortress, receives up to 43% damage bonus based on your armor, and I've added Shadow Comet. Shot calls down a comet dealing 210,000 damage to enemies within a 3.5 meter radius with a 3-second cooldown. Now, I personally like to use Shadow Comet. Can you put Moaning Winds in there? Yes, you can. And you will see that I have it on my secondary weapon and on my pistols. I personally like to shoot or pop a shot every 3 seconds and get that Shadow Comet to come down and do a little bit more damage than what it's supposed to, thanks to Fortress. Yes, I do know that Moaning Wind does more damage, but once again, these are one of those things where you want to be comfortable in using this build. My secondary weapon I'm utilizing is the Anemoy. It comes with Moaning Winds. Reloading creates a strong blast around you, dealing 387,000 damage to enemy in a range of 8 meters with an 8-second cooldown. And I've added Fortress on it to make it do more damage. And on the pistol, I also have Moaning Winds, so I can just switch to the pistol also and proc an extra Moaning Winds if I need it to finish off the enemy. Now going to the gear, this is how I utilize my solo Ash Blast build. The build that I showed you previously, that is the most common one, and if you're more comfortable with that one, I would recommend go with it. It has a way lower cooldown, and it works just as fine. I'm going to show you what I utilize, and then I'm also going to show you what options you have. On the mask, I'm utilizing the Akari, Fire Tsunami, and Burnout. Fire Tsunami increases the width of the firewall, and Burnout damage enemies take 25% more damage for 8 seconds. Those two mods will always be in your Ash Blast build. On the upper armor, I'm utilizing Akari, and it comes with Detonator, decrease the skill cooldown by 50%. I added Tidal Wave. The skill can be activated one more time before triggering the cooldown, so now you have 2 Heat Wave instead of 1. These 2 mods are not interchangeable. They will stay on the build. The lower armor, we're utilizing a purple. We can see it comes with Anomaly cooldown and status power. We have Ride the Wave. It activates one more time before triggering cooldown, so now you have 3 Heat Wave and Untamed Power. Now, this is where you can kind of change things, okay? I will show you my other trousers that I utilize, and this has Anomaly Echo and Death Sentence. When I'm playing duo with my guy Sadness, this is the one that I utilize. This is the difference from running a duo and a solo. Now, is this to say that I cannot run this on solo? No, it's not saying that. You could add the Death Sentence, and you could utilize the lower armor of Akari's, but I prefer doing it the other way. And to show you the other helmet that I use, I utilize the Forest Helmet, and it has Fire Tsunami and Ashen Boost. This helmet is what I utilize when I am doing a dual speedrun with my guy Sadness once again. I utilize the Ashen Boost because it boosts my damage against enemy afflicted with Ash by 20%. So every time I utilize Ash Blast, I get 20% more damage after that. Okay. My gloves don't change. They're purple. They come with Pants on Fire, increased by 48,000 the damage to enemies who were damaged by the skills but did not have their status consumed. Pants on Fire is going to stay on the build, never be removed. If you want to, go ahead. I wouldn't recommend it. And I utilize Ash Increase Range. Increases the skill range by 66% of Ash Blast. This right here has helped me countless of times. Sometimes I'm not paying attention. I'm too focused on moving forward, and I forget to put myself in the right position and utilize Ash Blast. Sometimes you're going to miss those enemies. You just are going to. I recommend this mod. Can you remove it and put something else? Yes, you can, but I recommend it and I utilize it. On the footwear, we have Akari boots with Master Consumer. Master Consumer, you're always going to keep on this build. And then I've added Captain Hunter. Captain Hunter is interchangeable. And let's go look at the other mods that you have as options. So, you can utilize Ash Armor Down, decreases enemy armor by 50% for 5 seconds. So, once you use Ash Blast for 5 seconds, the enemy armor will decrease for 50%, or excuse me, by 50%. If you're looking for survivability, Blacksmith is an option also for you. Each status condition consumed by the skill grants 52,000 armor bonus for 8 seconds. Once again, if you're dying a lot when you're running solo and you're looking for a survivability mod or a defensive mod, Blacksmith is not a bad idea. Third Degree, increase weapon damage against enemy damage by the skill by 30% for 5 seconds. So anytime I use Overheat and they get that blue flame on them, the weapon damage is increased by 30%. This will help your teammate if you're running in duo or in trios. And if that Overheat has a 4-second cooldown, so Jesus, I think honestly, you can honestly keep this going. The weapon damage goes for 5 seconds, but your cooldown is for 4 seconds. This is not a bad option for you to have. Okay? So third degree definitely is a recommended mod to utilize in the Ash Blast build if you're running with teammates. Obviously, we already saw Untamed Power. You can utilize this in solo or duo. I would recommend it more for solo. I wouldn't recommend it for duo. Damage Absorber is a good option as a defensive mod. If you're looking to have more survivability, Damage Absorber is a good option. Ashton Boost is a good offensive mod. I utilize this mod when I'm doing speed runs with my partner Sadness. This works out. It boosts my damage by 20% anytime I use Ash Blast, and it helps clear the battlefield. You also have Bullet Kindling. I don't use it, but you do use Heat Wave and you set things on fire. Now, will your teammate benefit from this if you are running in duos or trio? Yes and kinda no, because you guys are going to be killing things pretty fast. But if you guys are not speed running, but you want to get things done quickly, this is not a bad option. If you're solo, you definitely will not use this. But in a group setting, it's not a bad deal. Emergency Stance is another defensive mod that you can utilize in this build. Now remember, they fixed it. It's not bugged anymore. It only works for 4 seconds now. So if you're going to use it, be very, very smart and careful. Power Simulation, it's not a bad option. I wouldn't use it, but like I said, I will show you all of your options. It boosts your anomaly power by 11,000 for each elite present on the battlefield. Boomtown has 3 at a time on the battlefield. So that's 33,000. If you want to use it, it's an option. I would use Untamed Power over this. But once again, I'm just showing you all of your options. Death Sentence is a phenomenal mod for you to utilize, especially if you're running in a group setting. This will definitely boost your team's damage, whether it's weapon damage or anomaly damage. And there you have it, folks. These are the mods that you can utilize. Let's go take a look at the skills. Now, as far as the skills, you see this is Heat Wave with a 6.7 second cooldown, Ash Blast with a 14 second cooldown, and Overheat with a 4.6 second cooldown. Now, with this right here, the cooldown have increased a little bit, but that is based on my inventory. And as you can see, I no longer have the purple that has cooldown reduction. So me losing and not utilizing that helmet that has 7.49% cooldown reduction has caused these to go up a little bit. Let's also take a look at the tree, which will explain why the cooldown goes up a little bit and how you may be able to bring it down a little. So here's the tree. I would recommend this version, and then I'm going to show you the other version that I also utilize, but I utilize that one more for a solo run. This one, I utilize it for group play. To get to this cooldown, I had to get this weapon damage, so I take it and I get the immobilized skill cooldown by 15%. Going back down towards the bottom tree, we have anomaly power, we have explosive cooldown reduced by 15%, more anomaly power, we have increased weapon damage anomaly power by 5%. We have decreased all your skill cooldown by 10%. This is very valuable. Increase your max health by 10%. And then here we get the ignite skill cooldown by 15%. So to get to this, we had to go through here. And this right here was a plus along with this, right? Now continuing through the bottom, we have an increase your skill damage by 8% against marked enemies. More anomaly power, increase weapon damage and anomaly power by 5%, increase your anomaly power by 6%. Skill leech, every time I use my skill, I get 6% of health. Increase your anomaly power by 6% again. Increase your resistance piercing by 15. Increase damage against elite by 10%. More marked enemies, increase of skills damage by 8%. Explosive cooldown by 15%, and increase explosive skill base damage by 30%. So this is the tree that I tend to utilize the most, even when I'm utilizing the 215% buff build, which is also on my YouTube channel. You can go check it out. Smash the like button, subscribe. Thank you. This is the tree that I mostly utilize. Now I'm going to show you what I utilize when I'm running solo. So, as you can see here, it's almost the same, but I remove the node up here, and I moved it to with fire and anomaly. Activating explosive skill increases your anomaly power by 12% for 10 seconds. And I'm utilizing Phoenix Nestling. Basically gives me a second life. This has a 3-minute cooldown, so you have to be very smart. If you do use it, you gotta be cautious. This is basically the tree that I utilize when I'm running solo. The previous tree is the one I utilize when I am in group play. And there you have it. This is the Ash Blast build. I hope this helps you out. Please be sure to check me out on Twitch. The link will be in the description with the times that I'm usually live. You never know, I can be live right now and willing and able to answer any and all of your questions. I hope you enjoyed the gameplay. Please smash the like button and don't forget to subscribe so that way you stay up to date with all my upcoming build videos here on YouTube. Have a good one, fam. I'm out.